were actually suspended for doing some pretty hateful and absurd and repulsive things on campus. If they were suspended as the rules demand, they would be deported. Lily Cohen is experiencing this firsthand. She's a Jewish student at Northwestern University who penned an op-ed about feeling vilified. As an alumni there, I'm interested in talking to you, Lily. She's also joined by Rabbi Schmuley Boteach, author of Kosher Hate, How to Fight Jew Hatred, Racism, and Bigotry. Rabbi, it is good to see you as well. Lily, I want to start with you. I went to Northwestern. It's pretty shameful what is being allowed to happen to Jewish students there. I think what's fascinating about MIT is that the president kind of, I don't think she meant to, but said the quiet part out loud. She told the truth about the foreign students organizing this. Do you feel the same thing's happening at Northwestern with foreign students being behind a lot of this?
Thank you so much for having me. I don't know if that's quite similar to what's happening at Northwestern. A lot of the students who are organizing our Students for Justice in Palestine rallies and protests are American students from an array of different backgrounds. And it's definitely concerning to see what's happening at other schools. There's a lot of similarities at Northwestern, but I think in terms of, hearing chants of "From the River to the Sea" and seeing posters of hostages in Gaza being torn down, that's happening here as well as at schools all over the country.
Yeah. Yep, and obviously we all lived through how Northwestern handled other times that students felt unsafe on campus. It was handled quite differently. Rabbi Boteach, help us understand, I know you've studied this, right, that the pro-Palestine, if you want to call that movement, is rooted in this neo-Marxist, socialist, one-time Soviet kind of viewpoint. And I'm wondering if you are seeing any connections now to the groups that are supporting Hamas and the Palestinians with that same kind of movement where the Soviets supported the PLO back in the day.
This is much worse than anything which is neo-Marxist or communist or socialist. That goes back to the, let's say, all the major demonstrations in the Vietnam era where people were almost supporting a communist Vietnam, USSR. This is much worse. You're talking about people who are supporting Hamas, who are supporting women being brutalized, teenage girls who have boyfriends being decapitated and murdered, LGBTQ Palestinians being castrated. You're talking about the suppression of any kind of political dissent. Let's say the Israel haters on campus at MIT, at Harvard, at NYU, let's say they got Northwestern, let's say they got their wish. Israel disappears, either through some terrible thing, God forbid, which let's say they don't want that. Let's say 6 million Jews agree, let's go live in Florida. Middle East is too dangerous. Is that going to stop Hamas, Syria, all these vile Arab entities who destroy Arab lives? Syria murdered 600,000 Arabs. Nobody gives a damn. Hamas has stolen every last penny of the Palestinian people, not to build a single bomb shelter, not to bring a single school. Even the Shifa Hospital is just a small veneer of
Rabbi, we're going to get to Shifa Hospital in a minute.
Yeah.
Lily, I think it's important because you made a point that there are a lot of students who are out there protesting of all backgrounds. I get the first couple of days that you see pictures of babies or pictures of quote-unquote civilians in Gaza on, pulls at the heartstrings. Kids tend to have, protest first, learn second. How many weeks in, right, of From the River to the Sea and Intifada, on and on, how many weeks in do you give people credit for they may not exactly know what they're marching for until you go, if you show up at one of these protests where people are chanting for the annihilation of Israel, then that's what you believe?
Well, I think at Northwestern, it was made clear last year. I wrote an op-ed last year about the fact that From the River to the Sea was a call for the destruction of the state of Israel. And so I think maybe the first couple of days when students on campus right after October 7th started protesting, maybe they didn't know what they were protesting for or what they were saying. But I think very quickly, I think reality has to hit and they have to be held accountable for the anti-Semitic and just really hateful rhetoric that they're spewing at Northwestern and on campuses across the country.
Rabbi, I'll give you the last 30 seconds here. Where are we in the arc of this? Are you starting to see a realization in Western civilization, sort of it's not about a ceasefire in Gaza, may not even be really about Jews, that there's a deeper undercurrent and organization to this that has a lot more to do with taking on Western culture, as I said, sort of that Marxist culture, than it does simply about even what's going on, whether or not Israel exists?
Leland, you're absolutely right. This is much more than the Jews. You're talking about the disintegration of any support for the liberalism of the West, women to dress the way they want, people to have live their lives the way they want, liberal, free democracy to speak out the way they want. We don't have a single Arab democracy out of 40 countries that surround Israel. So this is a threat to the West. First, they come for the Jews, then they come for everyone else. And I'm so sorry for students on campus, Jewish students, who are experiencing the most volatile, disgusting anti-Semitism. And these campuses have a responsibility to uproot it, to protect the Jewish students, because first they come for the Jews, then they come for everybody else.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.